Hi everybody, this is Jerry Douglas speaking to you from Nashville, Tennessee. This is Rosie. You got some questions for me and I think I'll take this time to answer them for you. A lot of people like to know how you get started in bluegrass music and playing the instrument that you play, and I play the dobro guitar. And it's called resophonic guitar, slide guitar, a whole lot of things, but I got started playing it when I was about 10 years old. Lived up in Warren, Ohio. It's a northeastern part of Ohio, up close to the Great Lakes in the north central part of our country. And I listened to Flatt and Scruggs music every morning when I got up to go to school. My dad was going to work. He worked in steel mills around that part of the world, and he loved Flatt and Scruggs. He had a band. I got to watch those guys rehearse all the time, which is something that is a rare thing for kids these days, I know, to see, but it was a wonderful time for me. And the fellows in that band took the time with me to show me a few things. Nobody knew how to play a dobro, but my dad had a great banjo player in his band named Harry Schaefer, a wonderful fiddle player named Ray Spinagle, and the whole band was great. They could have been pros at any time. And so they sort of put me on the path, and all I had to listen to were records. I had no internet. I had no no Accutab. I had nothing, no tablets or anything like that to learn how to play. So I just had to listen to records and do it that way. And playing with my dad's band led to working with the Country Gentlemen in the mid-70s. And from there I went to they lived in Washington, D.C. So I graduated from high school and moved to Washington, D.C. to play with the Country Gentlemen. From there I moved to Lexington, Kentucky, and started working with J.D. Crowe in the New South, where we made the New South, Rounder 0044, a lot of people call it, with Tony Rice and Ricky Skaggs, Bobby Sloan, of course J.D. Crowe. And went to Japan that year, and it was just a whirlwind. The launch, it was the greatest launch that anybody like me could have in bluegrass music, and we were at the top of our heap. I mean, we were at the very top of all the bluegrass bands at that point, and it was so wonderful to hear Tony play and Ricky play and J.D. Crowe. My goodness, what a banjo powerhouse he is, still is. And went from there. Ricky and I formed a band called Boone Creek, and that lasted for a little while. He went to work with Emmylou Harris. I started to work with the Whites, with Buck White and Down Home Folks, and we actually went to Japan for once or twice, and then we just traveled the world. We were all over the world. We did a tour that started in Thailand and ended up in Cairo, Egypt. Round the world tours. You know, the world was a different place then, and Americans could go just about any place, and they liked us. I don't know what's happened. I haven't changed. But you know, playing on all these different bands and my career, one thing led to another, and I recorded a lot with different country artists, bluegrass artists, rock artists, all kinds of people. Did tours with James Taylor and Elvis Costello and Alison Krauss, of course, who's meant a lot to me in my career. And I've sort of got to this point where I took a look around and nobody was really playing bluegrass music as I knew it when I was a kid, you know, the Flatt and Scruggs stuff. So at that point I had been watching a lot of different musicians and had kind of picked the people that I would want to be in a Flatt and Scruggs band if I had one, which was, you know, a great sort of mystery to me if I could ever do that. And I kind of got to the point where I could, and I called these guys up and we rehearsed, and it was so much like the real thing that I decided we should record, and so we did. And and so the Earls of Leicester won a Grammy, and we won a whole bunch of EBMA awards, Entertainer of the Year, and all kinds of instrument awards and gospel awards and everything. It was really wonderful, and we loved playing that music. It we decided that we wouldn't do a show and wouldn't be a band and play if we didn't have that feeling, you know, that magic feeling that that we were Flat and Scruggs. They were as close to it as we could get, and it's been an amazing run of luck, and things just happening at the right place at the right time. And I love doing that, you know. But I do all kinds of things, and I have a band, Jerry Douglas band, that is bass and drums, violin, dobro, and now saxophone and trumpet. And we've just put out this new record called What If, and What If, it sort of symbolizes what we're doing, you know, a dobro guy writing songs for all of these different people, and I've started singing some more than I ever have, and it's really a lot of fun. It's a blast to go out and play that kind of music. It's not bluegrass music, but it's where bluegrass music has led me, and but I still love playing bluegrass music, and I can do that with the Earls of Leicester, you know, almost whenever I want to. It's a wonderful thing. You know, being recognized as one of the dobro greats and awards and all that kind of stuff was a question that was asked, and I don't know if there is a greatest anything. I mean, you have some good moments, some good times in your life where people, you know, you're playing good music, playing with good people, and having a great time playing music. And music is a universal language, and it certainly is on stage when we are looking at each other playing all this beautiful music and just kind of feeding off of each other. You know, somebody plays a great solo, it inspires me to play a great solo. And I think that's one of the things about, you know, I play a dobro guitar, which is sort of a rare thing in this whole scheme of things, but it's a new instrument. I think it's got a long history coming up. You know, it's going to have a long life. I have a family. I have 4 children who are all grown now, and the dobro and I have put them all through college. They don't have any student loans or anything like that, and they're all doing great. Yeah, I'm very proud of my children. I love being with them. I love hanging out with them. I love the people that they are, and my wife Jill is just a jewel here on earth. Is a great person, and somebody I have really loved living my life with. You know, and when I'm home, and when I'm on the road, you know, it's a dual life. It's a wonderful thing to be out on the bus with these guys and all this camaraderie happening and everything like that. But there's also a time to go home and a time to just cool down, take it easy. I have plans of coming over to Europe and playing as soon as I can. And I'd love to bring either band, Earls of Leicester or the Jerry Douglas band, or both. That would be really fun. And you know, it's all up in the air. You know, it all depends on money and travel, and you know how things are in the world. You know, safety factors and all kinds of things like that we have to think about these days that we didn't really think about many years ago. But music gives you a wonderful life, and it gives you a life of travel, a life of inspiration, and meeting different people all over the world. And you know, I've met some wonderful people in Germany and Italy, and you know, Scotland is one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. And I plan on spending as much time being on this musical journey of mine, you know, and just seeing where that takes me. And a lot of the time it takes me to Europe and to the UK and you know, most of it's over here in the States. But and you know, we're approaching the 2017 EBMA Awards, and I'm nominated for a few things, and those are great. I love it, you know, and I don't take any of that for granted. It's wonderful to be nominated, for people to think that much of you, to nominate you for an award like an EBMA. And I love that. I love the audience. You know, it's given me so much, and I've tried to give it back just as much or more anytime I get a chance to. You know, I play every solo like it's the last one I'll ever have a chance to play. So thank you for the nominations. Thank you for all the years you've given me of listening, coming to my concerts, and coming up and talking to me, and giving me this great life. And I try to give back to you twofold if I can. And I thank you for this honor of being nominated for all of these things. They're great, you know, but I just like to play music. And awards are one thing, but they are second to making people smile, and making people enjoy their life, and getting away from all the stuff, the doldrums of a normal day. And so, ciao, auf Wiedersehen, bye-bye. I'll see you soon, I hope. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.